G'day swingers. So this week I got something a little bit different for you. We went away to my mate's brand new property that he's finally had access to. It settled literally about a week and a half after the last lockdown kicked in, so we've been stuck in Melbourne waiting to get up there, scratching, just waiting. We finally got told that we could leave Metro Melbourne and explore some of regional Victoria, and finally we managed to go see his property this weekend, and exactly what we needed. The serenity was just peace and quiet, nothing around, just bliss. Now we went there and we did have the intention to prospect, so there was a little bit of prospecting being done, but it was a little bit more of an adventure rather than just, trying to find gold straight away. We were just trying to get to know the area. Seeing as he bought the property there, we need to know the area a bit better, so that way we know where we are if we ever get lost. So it was mainly more exploring, but I did manage to find 3 nice little beauties of gold, so I was very happy about that. Unfortunately, because I was playing with my camera so much, and it turns out that we didn't stay in a caravan park, it ended up becoming an off-the-grid weekend. I had no charge for my camera, and I sort of played around and taking photos of stars and stuff, so I was getting to know the camera, but well, I didn't get any footage of me digging any good targets other than what you're about to see. This was a bit of a heartbreak, to say the least. I wish I had have read the sign that was posted on the fence 3 meters away from me. Oh, fucking tree root.
Is that it?
Oh, fuck off. It's a power cable. Fucking cunt. That's a heartbreaker.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as for later on in that day, didn't find any gold or anything. We just explored the area, as I said. We ended up having to find some camping gear, which we did fairly well. We managed to be able to take a travel to a town an hour away and go to their Kmart and actually find everything we needed for literally under $100 each. So the weekend was a little bit more costly than we expected, but that doesn't matter. It was an awesome weekend away out, just a couple of mates and nothing else. No internet, no nothing, just us. Something I thought I'd better share. For any of you guys that are unaware of how bad the spiders are in Australia, I'm in a camping grounds toilet. Sorry to show you that, but you've got to see this. Redback. Male redback. Another redback. Another one. A very clear one. Another one. Like, yeah, try sit down on this toilet. Very unlikely you're going to make it out alive. And this one, right behind the toilet seat. No thank you. I'd rather go and squat in the hole. So yeah, next day we managed to go out and have a look around for some gold. Spent a few hours looking, more just exploring the area again. As I said, I turned the detector on, which there is a couple of clips from that. Oh, sorry, one clip. Unfortunately, I took that clip. Then once I'd found the target, which you'll see, you'll hear the tone from anyway. Once I found the target, I pulled the camera out, I pushed record, and yeah.
Well, here's one you don't see all the time, so I'm going to unplug the Pro Sonic and give a listen to this log, and I mean the log. Occasionally, you'll find bullets lodged in the side of trees, so I'm going to retrieve that and I'll get back to you.
It just gave me a brief half-second shot of me holding the target, which turned out to be nothing but a sparkler. So it wasn't the bullet I expected, just a sparkler. Then I walked downstream a little while, or down the gully, and almost stood on these guys. So as you can see, these are a couple of stumpy tail lizards. They always seem to be in pairs, we've noticed. We've only ever seen 3 sets of stumpy tails, but they've always been in pairs, and that was 3 sets in one day, so pretty sure they stick around in pairs. I'll have to do some more research on that myself anyway. Wouldn't mind sort of getting to know what the go is with the fauna around the area. So yeah, after almost squashing the bigger one, as you can see in the photo here, the SDC is laying there, and there's sort of like a curved section. I'll highlight it right here, and that's where I put my knee, and I didn't see that stumpy tail. So I'm very lucky that I didn't actually sit right. I'll put my knee right on top of it. They're camouflaged very well. I only saw the one that moved, which was the one I got the photo of first, the little inquisitive one that was looking at me and sort of doing this head bobbing thing. It's pretty cool. And then I took the photos of the male, I'm pretty sure it was, before I moved on and walked up onto the bank just above them, where I had spotted some mullet piles that looked really tasty. The material there was a bit different to where I'd walked through already. Where I'd taken the first video with that log, it was in a very deep channel, and it had been worked, but that channel had no real clear signals. I was under the impression I had a hell of a lot less battery power on my detector, so I forgot I charged it a couple weekends beforehand fully charged, but oh well, this happens sometimes. So I rushed my way down the gully through this deeper channel to get down to where I suspected would be a better chance of finding gold, being these mullet piles. Thankfully my hunch paid off. I literally walked onto a couple of mullet piles on an inside bend sort of deal, and walked onto the first one. Didn't get anything that caught my attention. I thought it was still going a bit fast, but slow enough. And then about 3 mullet piles later, I caught a nice little signal. I scraped about 1.5 inches off, and bam, first target in that area of any value, and this was it. Nice little 0.1 gram nugget. So, or picker. But I was very happy to find that. That was just the icing on the cake for the weekend, regardless of whatever the outcome for the rest of the weekend was to be. That just topped it. So I decided to go a little bit slower on that mullet pile and just double check and see if there's any more signals. And just beside it, about 1.5 foot away, was this little bit. It was probably, from memory, it was about 1 inch down, half an inch down sort of deal. It wasn't very deep. And then the third bit that I found on the same mullet, yeah, it was actually a good bit, but because the mullet itself had a round like that, but a sort of flat top, and sort of rounded a bit on there, when I first detected, I detected it from this side here, and I actually heard a bit of a murmur, so I chased it in, going vertically down instead of chasing it into the hill. Now, I sort of got to a stage where I couldn't find it, and I sort of thought, nah, it must be ground noise. So I filled the hole back in, and I walked around it again on the same mullet, and I was checking the mullet again, and came back from the top edge over here, when I went over the top edge, it came through a bit clearer. So what I did is that I went down straight down next to it, the original hole that I dug, and pulled out a lovely bit of gold. So as you can see here, a nice 0.17 gram nugget or picker. So it's a nice little chunky bit. And as you see, all these pieces are very, very rough. So that's not far from the source. And we only walked about 1 kilometre from my mate's property. So when we get the chance to get back, I reckon we're going to clean up a fair bit of shiny out of there. It's just a matter of putting in the hard yards and really reading the land a bit, and then doing things that people haven't done before. Who knows, we might be able to stumble onto a nice patch that's virgin. It's just going to take a bit of effort and a bit of investigation on the ground with the detectors. But even if it doesn't, we still have plenty of bushland there, and there's bits of gold like that floating around. So surely and eventually there's going to be a nice chunky come out of there. Just got to do the hard yards and get in there and spend the time to find it. Anyway, that's all I've got for you this week. Short and sharp compared to normal, but as I said, we ended up off the grid, so that's, it is what it is. Can't charge a camera without power, and if you don't have spare batteries, which I don't yet, well, that's what it is. So until next time, thanks for watching. I will be out with Ninja tonight, literally tonight, hunting for coins, and that video will be up next week. We're going to go back to the same park that we've hit for the last couple of weeks in a row. We'll get a good feeling there's some good silver in there and some good old coins, and we're hoping for maybe 1 or 2 English silvers. We found a couple of English pennies in there and half pennies, so fingers are crossed. Till next time, good luck and happy swinging. See you later.